Welcome back. In Money Matters tonight, Saratoga County is raising a glass to the Shmaltz Brewing Company. They recently opened a brewery and tasting room in Clifton Park. Here to tell us more about that and the craft brewing industry is founder and president Jeremy Cowan. Welcome to Look News, Jeremy. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much for having me.
New venture in Clifton Park, already a brewery that people know across the country. Talk to me about why Shmaltz decided to open up shop in Clifton Park.
Yeah, well, so I started Shmaltz Brewing Company in San Francisco 16 years ago in a little apartment in San Francisco. We hand-squeezed pomegranates on the floor of my apartment. Took it to a little tiny brewery in Northern California, made 100 cases of beer for Hanukkah of 1996. And that's really how it started. It was an experiment and a project of passion. I had no idea what I was getting into. 16 years later, now we're building our very own and very first brewery that I own, where my staff works for me. And I've been for 16 years what's called a contract brewer. So that's why we have this beer called Death of a Contract Brewer, because after 16 years, I'm opening my own brewery here in Saratoga County and kind of north of the Capital District, and couldn't be happier. I've been brewing this beer here in Saratoga for 10 years now at Old Saratoga Brewing Company, and they've been wonderful to work with, done some incredible beers for me over the years, and now it's our chance to kind of take our own destiny into our own hands and really take control and try to have some fun.
You know, the craft brewing industry is growing all across the country. You're probably a bit of a superstar to those home brewers because you took the dream that a lot of guys are doing in their basement and now have made it into this major industry. You know, talk to me about, for folks at home who are brewing their own beer, that journey.
Well, it's funny because I'm in some ways a dirty word in the craft beer industry, which is called contract brewer. So I was not a home brewer when I started. We definitely love working with home brewers, and now I have 4 to 6 on my staff right now in our tasting room, in our marketing, as well as the brewers, and our master brewer and our GM, all of whom who started out home brewing. So the home brewing community is really important to us. And we do get that question a lot. How do I get from home brewing really tiny batches up to maybe a commercial level? And so we encourage guys to come in and talk to us about that and have homebrew. We're going to have homebrew meetings in the tasting room in Clifton Park. Our tasting room managers are involved, and one of whom is very involved with both the Albany and the Saratoga homebrewers group. So it's an exciting way to network with those guys. They are our core passionate followers. They're also our good taste testers, and sometimes they're even our volunteers. Like this weekend, they're going to be volunteering for us at our grand opening.
What do you equate this, this craft brewing industry? Lots of small breweries like you. It seems to be everywhere you turn, they're opening, or there's all these different beers. Obviously, a lot of competition out there, but a lot of people are getting better palates when it comes to beer.
Right. Well, it's funny that our friends say, wow, we see your beer everywhere, or we see craft beer everywhere. Well, the data is actually that still almost at least 9, if not 9.5 beers out of 10 beers consumed in this country are from major brewers. All these craft breweries that are opening, and there have been 1,000 new breweries in the last couple of years, small ones. There's now over 2,500 small craft breweries in this country. It's more than before Prohibition for the first time, which is really exciting. But still, it's a tiny slice of the overall beer market. Growing at about 15% a year right now, which is pretty astounding for an industry. The enthusiasm, the awareness, the excitement is more than ever. And more restaurants are coming around to craft beer. More retailers, grocery stores, supermarkets are seeing the value. And mostly it's just, we've been sharing these things that we're so proud of, these flavors and these small businesses and the kind of creativity that you just can't see in giant businesses that kind of work on mass-produced manufactured beers. They just can't do it the way that small brewers do, and they don't want to. I mean, we want to make these unique little products, and sometimes they're quirky, and sometimes they're not a good idea for a business decision, but they're a great idea because that's what we want to share with our customers.
Well, it helps with the following. Your products are quite unique, and also the brand is quite unique. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, so I started Shmaltz Brewing in San Francisco, as I mentioned, with one beer. The brand is called Hebrew, the chosen beer, and the idea was to make the world's first and only Jewish celebration beer. My friends were joking around over the years, and we thought, wouldn't it be funny if we had something like that? And so I put it into a little experiment. It's kosher certified, and we try to make it a real community-based product. At the same time, I'm brewing over the years with some of my most well-respected brewing colleagues, making beers that I think can stand with the very best craft beers in this country. So now we have both Hebrew and Coney Island craft lagers. They're also our brand that we make at Shmaltz Brewing. And we make about 20 beers a year, all different styles, IPAs, hops, as some of our folks here, these guys are really into. And also big, rich malty beers. We have barrel-aged beers that we age for 6 to 12 months in whiskey barrels. We have lighter-bodied, lighter-styled beers, and we have really heavy-duty, high-alcohol beers as well. So it's been a fun way to be able to use my angle and use my shtick and use my reason for waking up in the morning, but to make flavors and recipes that anybody should really be excited about.
Yeah, this was an interview that was really easy to get the crew in to record with us because of the subject matter. You've got an opening bash coming up this weekend.
That's absolutely right.
What's on tap?
So July 7th, this Sunday, we wanted to do it at the tail end of 4th of July weekend so everybody can do their family stuff and do what they need, and then when they're ready for a beer, after all the stuff that's going to be going on this week, they can come by the brewery in Clifton Park from 1 to 5 p.m. I have an incredible lineup. We have ourselves with all of the beers that we've made, including a lot of really special beers from our vault, and barrel-aged beers that we're going to be tasting straight out of barrels, which is a pretty unique opportunity. We also have 10 other brewers from around this region, as well as my friends from around the country, with some wonderful brewers that are all featured on our website and our Facebook page. Then I have an incredible funk band from Brooklyn that a friend of mine who works at a great beer bar in Brooklyn put together. The backup band is from Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, as well as John Schofield, and incredible musicians that should be really fun. And then my favorite, my MC, my good friend, the maestro of Coney Island, who does the human blockhead and many other carnival tricks from his sideshow experiences, Donnie Vomit. So he will be there as well, and his girlfriend Legs Malone, who's a burlesque performer.
I know Legs well.
It's an awesome. Well, anybody can come talk to them and get their autographs, and also have a really, really special beer lineup on Sunday at the 7th. So on our website, go to our Eventbrite page, and Twitter, Facebook, and all the rest. We'd love to have as many people come by as possible.
We'll link all that stuff for our viewers as well. Jeremy Cowan from the Shmaltz Brewing Company, New Clifton Park venture. We wish you the best of luck. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, to find out more about the Shmaltz Brewing Company and their opening bash, head for looktvonline.com, our website. That's where you can see this interview for a second time. And stay with us. Up next, we got the closing numbers from Wall Street, plus meteorologist Jeremy Davis will be in with your all-important 4th of July holiday forecast.